Tabloid was wrong.
Is there any salivating going on out there? Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Gateway Rotary. Good morning.
Good morning, Kim.
Sweet. This morning, Madeline will be doing the Pledge of Allegiance.
Fellow Rotarians, please help me say, or please join me. Pledge to the flag.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Jeff Gadman in the four-way test.
Fellow Rotarians, please join me in the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First,
Is it true?
second,
Is it fair to all concerned?
third,
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
and fourth,
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
and fifth.
Is it fun?
So this morning, our Rotary visitor is Bill McGregor. Where are you, Bill?
Hey, Bill.
And Amanda Zay, you have a guest.
Yay,
And Crystal, you have a guest.
Yes, I have Stacey Belzer with me again, so hopefully maybe a member soon.
Hey, Stacey.
And Mary Catherine, you have a guest.
Yep, my guest is Jessica. Hi. Hi, Jessica.
Hi, Jessica.
Are there any other visiting Rotarians or guests? All right, Nate, you have some flyers.
All right, Nate.
Do somebody else? Okay, he needs a minute. So some of you probably heard on my Facebook the other day that I took my bedtime pills in the morning. It was a rather interesting day, very laid back. I didn't get angry at anybody. And Cheryl at the end of the day said, I actually kind of prefer that. Can we talk to your doctor about this?
Yeah. That's right.
I said, no, I was way too laid back, way too happy, way too relaxed. Not like me at all. Let's see, since Crystal, you have an announcement.
All right, Crystal. Hey, Crystal.
So on December 6th, we will have our social down at Swing, so please come join us. We'll start at 4 and go till about 6:30. You do need to be 21 or over. I know that's an issue for a lot of you, so get your ID, make sure you're good, come join.
Madeline.
Thanks.
21. Yay.
Let's see. All right, I don't think I have much of anything else, Nate. I need you to come up here and do your awards. I can only do one joke a day.
Go, Nate. That's how he reads stuff. He thinks he's playing on his phone.
It's always on my phone, right?
Yeah.
Typical millennial. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm up here today. Last week we talked about the Rotary Foundation and all the good that it does in the world. And so today we want to do some of the recognition that we talked about. The Paul Harris Fellowship recognizes individuals who give to the Rotary International Foundation at levels of $1,000 or above. The foundation allows Rotary International to do the amazing things across the world, including eradicating polio. I would like to recognize Kim Bauman, Jerry Farmer, and Len Fauscher to the front to receive their pins.
Sorry, we had a little private concept. Oh, look at that. That's great. It's got jewels on it. Thank you. Wow, look more. Oh, that was it.
I almost forgot I have to do this. So Kathleen Thomas, you're our classification speaker this morning, so come on up so we can enjoy hearing your lovely voice. No pressure there.
We recorded. Oh, that's nice. Just say something again.
Say something again?
Yeah! Yeah! Man, you're in the wrong line of work.
Good morning, everyone. So they say that a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, I don't have a picture, so you're getting 1,000 words today. All right, so the early years of Kathleen Thomas. I was born in Enterprise, Alabama, which is near Fort Rucker. Does anybody know Fort Rucker, Jerry?
It's near
Jerry
Enterprise.
Wilkins? There you go. So I was born to Jim and Kathleen Shane. Yes, I was named after my mother. And my brother was named after my father, so it was J2 and K2, which made it easy for signing signatures. It was a little more difficult when trying to answer the phone. My mom preferred to be called Kathleen the Wiser or Kathleen the Great rather than So because we were in the military, we moved all over the U.S. We lived in Arizona, Alabama, California, Georgia, Germany, the Netherlands, and actually in the Netherlands, we were there for about 2.5 years. I was supposed to stay there for a year, but I loved it so much that my parents dragged me kicking and screaming across the Atlantic to come back here because it was where I loved it. So that is my dream and hope, is to live back there again in the future. We'll back to that later. So now to the education. I returned to the Netherlands and decided it was time to get my higher education on. And I got my AA from Seattle Central Community College and was involved in jazz ensembles and some classical music there. And then I got my BA from UW. Go Huskies. And I got my degree in Interdisciplinary Studies Humanities with a minor in music. It's basically an ethnomusicology degree without the 35-page paper, so yeah. And there I actually did didgeridoo. I was part of a Turkish oud ensemble. And I also did Venezuelan gaita. If you don't know what those are, it's okay, nobody else does either, which is why I didn't get the ethnomusicology degree. And then I got my MBA from St. Martin's in 2014 while I was working full-time there, so So now on to my working life. I have always been behind the scenes. I don't really like being in front of the stage, but I can if I need to be. In high school, I actually lettered in soccer management, not in soccer play. Soccer management, that's right, 4 years. And I was also the stage manager for all of our high school plays. After college, I worked for 2 nonprofit music companies, Seattle Pro Musica and the Olympic Music Festival. I don't know if you've heard of those at all.
Go Pro Musica.
That's right. Thank you. And then I moved on to the Puget Sound Business Journal, where I was the special events coordinator. And I got to do things like the 25th anniversary at Seacole Field. I planned our first Women of Influence there and the Book of Lists, so I got to do a lot of cool events there as well. Then we spent about 4 years in Indianapolis because I wanted to be closer to my parents. My husband and I decided that wasn't the place for us. Sorry for everybody who's from Indiana. We came back home, and it was great to be back home. So then we came to St. Martin's University, well, we, meaning I. And I've been there for 7 years. I actually just celebrated my 7-year anniversary this Monday. So that's amazing. I never expected to be anywhere that long because of the military. I have that nomadic lifestyle, so 7 years, it's been a long time. All right, so at St. Martin's, I am the Director of Event Services. I oversee a team of 7 amazing individuals who I'm sure a lot of you have interacted with if you've ever been to any of the events at St. Martin's. I oversee internal and external events, and I plan our commencement and then all the end of year activities for our students, and then at the beginning as well, so our new student convocation. It's basically the bookend and kind of everything in between as well. And then one of the great things that I love about my job is I get to connect folks within the community, so I get to connect with all of you and then other people as well that I can try and help our students. It's a fun thing to do. So although I do work behind the scenes, I also get to be on stage sometimes. Some of you may have heard me speak at Dragon Boat Festival or at our gala, which is kind of fun to do. that little musical theater background of me. I get to do a little bit of stuff, so a little bit of that. So for my dreams and future, I have been married to the most wonderful man for the past 14 years, David, and he and I both have a shared love for great food, wine, whiskey, travel, and dogs. And he and I both joke that we're 85-year-old British women because we like to go home, get into our comfy pants, and watch British murder mysteries and drink a cup of tea. So, just to wrap it up, my dream, as I said before, is to live overseas. And what I would love to do is run an artist studio, basically a retreat where people can come and do their art, whatever medium that is. If it's music, writing, whatever, and then I feed them because I love to cook and I love to feed people. So that is Kathleen in a nutshell.
All right, so this morning we have an amazing treat. We have a trio of fantastic people that are our members. It's one of my favorite things is having our members be our speakers. So they put the fun in the fundamental part of what we do, membership. So let's put it together for Madeline, Mary, and Dan Weiss, and they're going to tell us all about membership.
You're going to do great. Don't be nervous, Madeline. You're going to do great.
You know, before we get started, I don't know if it was the sheriff's office or the Lacey police that took care of this, but I heard this morning that this guy was arrested. They found $400,000 in his washing machine, and they arrested him on possible money laundering.
Yeah.
Bad. Oh, sorry.
We expect less of you.
I know. Okay, so if you want to have a great committee, you get the right people. And we are very, very lucky to have Dan and Mary Weiss. Not only is Dan the brains of this, we did it with the help of Tom Carroll, who pointed out some thoughts to us, and Dan is amazing. He pulls things together, and we're going to have a great mentoring program. Probably you might have gotten the idea that maybe I'm just a little bit competitive. Well, I went to the, whatever it was, conference, the district conference, and we got the prize for the biggest membership increase.
Yeah.
But we didn't get the one for retention. We will next time, okay? All right, so we really appreciate all of you and everything you bring to this group. Rotary is a great worldwide service organization. Its success is driven by members like you serving at the local level, national and international, and through that success you make the world a better place. Gateway Rotary is a fantastic place to be a Rotarian. Our members are energetic, positive, productive, really smart, and fun. When you become a member of Gateway Rotary, you are beginning a journey towards building a lifelong, rewarding, productive, and fun relationship with Rotary. Today, we will share the Gateway Mentoring Program. It is one of the primary efforts providing a solid start to new members as they begin their Rotary journey. So, Dan will take over.
Yay, Dan. Yay, Dan.
Down is forward. Look at that. Hey, I have to give some generational kudos. Nate uses his smartphone as his teleprompter. I'm old school.
Go paper.
Yes. Yes, so when I found out that we were going to do this program, I got very enthused about it. And the day I found out, I was on the golf course, and after golf, I sat with 7 golfers, players, and I said, what do you think about mentoring? And 6 of them were very enthusiastic, started telling me about their mentors, and how exceptional that experience was. And then one of my friends said, I don't need a mentor. I said, I did everything myself. Who needs a mentor? And that just really bothered me. I mean, I respected his comments, but I'm going, how can you say that you never ever had a mentor? And he's a successful business person. So I rushed home and got on my computer and went to the great oracle called Google, and I said, give me the top quotes of mentorship that I can use in this program and kind of lift up what I had just heard and was kind of distressed about. So I got the first top 20 quote, and it was this. And I go, what a great start that is. But this is on Pinterest, and it's the top 20. It's the millennials who are gravitating and most quote this as far as mentorship. And I looked at that and I said, okay, we have an issue here. I found out that Fetty Wap, doing some more research, I love the name, is a songwriter, singer, rap artist, and 2-time Grammy nominee. But with all those credentials and with great respect, I'd like to point out that he doesn't understand what a mentor is. I think what he meant in this quote was, I am my own muse. That's much different than a mentor. And I even add more thought to that in the sense that Mr. Wap was born sightless, and he had to have some great mentorship to help him along his journey of being a recognized artist. So that encouraged me to go further and get a couple more quotes. And who can get by without having been in the house? So tell me, and I forget, just like I'm going to tell you a bunch of things this morning, you're going to forget them, but pay attention, because later in this presentation, I'm going to ask you a question. Show me, and I may remember, that's the whole point of PowerPoint, but now I'm going to pull a Boys and Girls Club deal on you. And I'm going to say, on the count of 2, repeat after me the third line. 1, 2, involve me and I learn. All right, thank you. And then this quote from Ingersoll is very succinct, but it's very appropriate for Rotary, because Rotary lifts club members, club service, community, national, and international. And when we work to mentor new members, we're building a solid foundation for the future in which we can continue that heavy lifting and providing good services throughout. And then Rotary's official position on mentoring, club mentoring, you can read it there. And I just think of the tremendous scope of the ways Rotary lift up our members. And their emphasis in terms of Rotary on mentoring is developing new members such that they become fulfilled Rotarians for the long term, providing great service, but also receiving quite a bit from Rotary in terms of their own self-fulfillment. I think it's better if I just hold this. Now, how do you get somebody involved? You go through a very simple process. to get a new member involved in our Rotary Club. The key to retention is involvement. Learning about Rotary and Rotary Gateway, we do this through the rotarization process. That's the first thing a new member goes through before they're a new member is they receive rotarization. But learning is a lifelong process. And so we continue by joining with fellow Rotarians for service, fun, right from the beginning. And this, thank you. See, Jerry's my mentor in audio visual. He's got all the answers. And as I said, the service and fun right from the beginning, this club effuses that. There's no lack of enthusiasm when you walk into this club in the morning.
Good job, Sherry.
And participating in club activities where the new member fits in and fits into their likes and their abilities. And that's an important function of a mentor, is being able to help that new member line up. So we create an environment where members want to belong. It's not that you have to belong or you think you belong, it's that you want to belong. So as a new member, you have a team. You have your sponsor, and the sponsor is the person who's primarily responsible for integrating the new member into the club. The member, the mentor assists the sponsors by sharing knowledge of Rotary and Gateway. And I'll ask you, remember these, okay? I know I said if I tell you, you're gonna forget, but I think you can remember some of these. It's gonna be important later on. Is the mentor assists by sharing knowledge of Rotary and Gateway, involvement opportunities, Rotary resources, friendships, and fun. The club members assist the new member by welcoming the new member, making introductions, sitting together at meetings, and sharing in the fun. Now, to be a member, or excuse me, a mentor, there's mentor basics. And first and foremost is that you're enthusiastic and knowledgeable about Rotary and want to share. Second is you're involved with committee work. There's going to be a mentor committee that will help develop mentors, assign mentors, do follow-ups, and keep the program effective and efficient. The focus of a mentor with a new member is on the first 3 months. We have found that as a new member, after 3 months, you either feel like you belong or you will feel, why did I even join this? We want to make sure that first 3 months comes through and ending with, I want to belong to Gateway Rotary. In terms of recruiting mentors, we're going to have to develop a list of willing mentors and have enough people to share the effort. Every new member coming into the club should have a mentor along with their sponsor. So in the first 3 weeks, you can see it's pretty simple, pretty easy to do. And along with the sponsors, you look for personal engagement opportunities. You have coffee with the person, visit another club, introduce to committee chairs and project leads, sit with a new member and introduce to others, and monitor new member engagement. Now, we're not talking about micromanagement here, and we're not talking about flooding this new member with all your enthusiasm. What we are asking is that you work and understand the person's likes and how their personality is. Some people are very receptive to mentorship and some are a little more reserved. So it's up to the mentor to kind of figure out how best to work with this unique individual. So we talked about the first 3 months, and I'd like to put a Family Feud type of activity in front of you right now. And that is, I have a survey from Rotary of 6 opportunities of engaging a new member. And these are 6 things that I have not mentioned. Remember I told you all those things that you've already forgotten? And none of those are on this list of 6 things. So if someone would like to offer the first thing, the first type of thing that can help a new member get involved with the club, shout it out.
Service project.
All right, greeter is actually number 1. Service project was number 5. Anybody else have any other? That is number 4. And there's another really important one. Had one this morning, already done. Classification talk. And there was also a notice of another event.
Social.
Social, did I hear social?
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. Okay, so, hey, you're all mentors.
Yeah.
You know this stuff. And a key to member retention also I would add is know what types of interests and abilities and activities the new member is interested in, and never assume that if you bring in an accountant that they're going to be the treasurer. Because I've been there. So never assume that. You can ask about their interest in it, but you may find that you have a person with multiple talents and wants to do something else rather than work. All right. Let's see where we're at. This is where I have Madeline come back up, and she's going to talk about how we're going to put this all together.
Yay, Dan! Yay, Alan!
I was just thinking when I was listening to him, he talked about micromanaging. Is that what happens when you work for Microsoft?
Oh, man.
Man, this morning, folks.
You're better than that.
I'll work on it. Come back tonight.
Have you had anything to drink this morning?
I don't drink because I go to sleep if I drink. I just act this way, so my kids always said, Mom, you can go to any place and people think you're drunk. Anyway,
She's back on now.
so we are establishing a mentor subcommittee of the membership program. Now we need you to step forward to coordinate the mentor program. This includes recruiting mentors, developing new mentors, working with sponsors, reviewing how we are doing, and making changes as appropriate. Mary Weiss has agreed to maintain the mentor sign-up list and assignments, but I'm looking for somebody serving as a coordinator. So if you would like to do that, please contact me. Otherwise, Mary, you're on.
All right, go Mary!
Good morning. Thank you, Mentor Jerry. So the first of the year, I will have a paper sign-up going around the room you'll have some time to think about, would you like to be a mentor? Not everybody would enjoy that role, but for those that are interested, I will have that sign-up sheet, and then from there, once we have mentors, then we will start our process of training and assigning mentors to the new members. So have a great holiday, and we'll talk to you in January. Next week I get a brand new knee, so I probably won't be around for a little while.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, let's hear it for the Weises and Madeline, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, Gateway. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday.
How's everybody doing after